New York City Mayor Eric Adams recently made a bit of a error when speaking about the rights of immigrants, specifically claiming that they don't have any. During his weekly City Hall press conference, the mayor, who has been indicted on federal corruption charges, told reporters that undocumented immigrants actually have no rights at all under the Constitution. He said, quote, "The Constitution is for Americans. I'm not a person that snuck into this country. My ancestors have been here for a long time." Now, here's the thing. This guy's technically a Democrat, but sounds a lot like Donald Trump. I mean, the Democratic Party, I mean, we've seen them lurching to the right on immigration. Okay. This last election is a great example. And so, look, I mean, I'm not surprised to see this. But again, this is not true. Okay. According to immigrants' rights, experts and the Constitution. For example, Alora Mukherjee, the director of the Immigrants' Rights Clinic at Columbia Law, said the mayor's claim has no basis in law. That's it. She said the laws set forth in the Constitution generally apply to everyone present on U.S. soil, whether or not they are a citizen and regardless of their immigration status. So, yeah, wrong. Now, okay, to be fair, let's look at the context of what he said. During his press conference, the mayor basically said that undocumented people who had committed crimes should be deported immediately. Well, okay, but that's without standing a trial. The thing is, in this country, we do have a little thing called due process. All right? Under the 4th and 5th Amendments, everyone on U.S. soil has the right to due process, to stand trial for the crimes of which they are accused. If we did not have that, things would get very, very bad. I mean, how easy would it be for someone to, I don't know, just accuse another person of being an undocumented immigrant, okay, and then get them deported? I mean, if they don't have a chance to defend themselves in court, with due process, then you would have American citizens just getting deported. That would not be good. Due process is how you can prove your innocence and how you can prove that you're actually, an American citizen. Okay. So this is why this is a bit of a problem. Okay. I actually do believe in law. I do believe in the Constitution. Apparently, he don't. Now, Adams' comments rightfully prompted criticism from immigrant activists and advocates. In fact, Murad Aweda said, and this is president of the New York Immigration Coalition, quote, "Mayor Adams is wrong. He is ripping a page from Trump's playbook, stoking fear and spreading disinformation. We should be able to expect that the mayor of New York City has a basic understanding of the constitutional rights of the people he serves." You would think. But again, this is the same mayor who has been indicted over corruption charges. So maybe there's a lot that he doesn't understand. Public advocate Jumaane Williams later issued his own statement accusing the mayor of scapegoating migrants, saying, quote, "He denigrated immigrants and non-citizens as unworthy of basic rights. His rhetoric is as dangerous to our city as his leadership has been harmful." Damn. So, look, this guy's corrupt as hell. And I think, personally, that he's looking for that sweet Trump pardon once Trump gets into office. Why do I say that? Well, I mean, you can hear he's going full MAGA, okay? He's talking about how he wants to scale back, sanctuary cities. We don't like that here. We're going to scale back those rules in New York City. And I am so interested in working with the Trump White House. In fact, on Tuesday, Adams told reporters that he had reached out to meet with Tom Homan, Trump's appointed border czar, who has threatened Democratic governors with prison time and mayors who refused to go on along with Trump's mass deportation plan, which would not only be expensive, incredibly costly, but also a humanitarian disaster, okay, which would probably necessitate the usage of literal prison camps, something that we haven't seen since World War II, okay, in this country. That would be disastrous. and just, yeah, a humanitarian disaster. Now, Holman has also said that he would use the military to assist with the deportation program and order things like workplace raids. So now, here's the thing. I'm not against deporting undocumented immigrants who commit violent crimes against people, right? Just as long as they have their fair trial, okay? They're constitutionally entitled to due process. That's it. They deserve a fair trial. The Constitution applies to them because they are on U.S. soil. All right? Simple as that. Simple as that. Look, at the end of the day, this is not a gigantic issue, okay? When it comes to crime, immigrant crime specifically. I know Donald Trump will say one thing, and then you've got Mayor Adams saying the same thing, but also admitting that it's the opposite. In reality, according to research, immigrant communities are responsible for lower rates of crime than U.S.-born citizens. If you're going to blame them for crime, oh, they're bringing the drugs, they're bringing the crime, not as much as Americans. In fact, look, there are, this fentanyl is coming over the southern border. Hey, you know who's getting caught with that fentanyl? U.S. smugglers. Americans bringing it over because there's American demand. So, I mean, not in every case, but in a lot of cases, okay, you end up having just, American citizens doing more crime than immigrants. Because when you think about it, if you're an undocumented immigrant, you come over, the last thing you want to do is be caught, right, and put a target on your head by doing crime. So it doesn't make any sense, right? If you just generally try to keep a low profile and keep your nose clean and, do what you can to work, support your family, in the hopes that maybe one of these days you can get some sort of, pathway to citizenship. Or just be able to, live long enough, keep out of sight long enough so that you can live your life here without having too much worry of getting hauled off to a country that probably tried to kill you. Because that's the reality with a lot of immigrants, a lot of migrants who are fleeing these kinds of situations where you have a corrupt government or you have some sort of human rights abuse, or if you have like a natural disaster that has destroyed large swaths of the country, or if you have, military coups that might have been, helped by U.S. forces and drug policy to do a violent coup, things like that. If you've got those issues, then you're not going to want to go back to that country, okay? Especially when you've come here and you've built a life for yourself and a family and things like that. So understand that that's the kind of people that Donald Trump is going to try to deport and may succeed with the help of people like Mayor Adams, okay? Look, if you're blaming immigrants for all the ills of our society, then you're not actually talking about the real problem. A lot of the ills of our current society are actually the fault of rich people. That's the unfortunate truth. Economic conditions, because we have a kleptocratic oligarch class that is stealing from the rest of us and then telling us to blame the immigrant, to blame the people that are in a worse financial position than we are as working class people. And so that's the realities of the situation. But anyway, look, I don't think doing racist, xenophobic scapegoating is going to help. It's not going to solve any problems. And unfortunately, it's just too easy for people to do. And that's what frustrates me. Look, I'm not saying that undocumented immigration doesn't have its bad, effects, right? Does it stress resources? Yeah, absolutely. When you have, large groups of migrants, people who are refugees, yeah, that's going to stress any resource, of course, right? But at the same time, blaming them for all the bad stuff that is happening is just counterfactual. Now, here's the other thing, right? One of the reasons that illegal immigration is a problem is mainly because our system is really, really bad at being able to welcome new immigrants in and have them become citizens. Okay, our system is slow, old, outdated, expensive, and overall difficult and time-consuming to go through. You can be here, working on citizenship for like 20, 30 years and still not be a full citizen. Okay, it takes a lot of time and money to become a citizen of the United States. That's one of the big problems here. And one of the reasons that it doesn't get solved is because the right wing, for them, it works perfectly. Not only do their donors get cheap labor from undocumented people, okay, that they can pay less than others, all right, than Americans, but they have a great little scapegoat for when their own policies do more to rob the average American than any immigrant has ever even dreamed of, okay? So that's the reality, and it's why they never want to actually solve the immigration problem. I know all of you MAGA people who might be watching are like, no, he's going to get rid of all the immigrants. No, he's not. Not going to happen. So that's a pipe dream, and congratulations, you have bought it hook, line, and sinker. And now you're going to allow for Trump and Republicans to do one of the biggest robberies of the middle class, what's left of it, and the American people that we could ever imagine. And you've got people like Eric Adams who wants to help. So screw this guy, all right? I hope they find him guilty of corruption. I hope he's removed from office. And I hope that if he ends up getting prison time, that Trump refuses to pardon him. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.